This is The Scoop for Friday.
I'm Josh Holton with the WMNF News headlines. As growing international condemnation swells around Israel's 22-month-long war in Palestine, calls for an end to the bombing and starvation of the Palestinian people are also being joined by boycotts against companies that support Israeli state infrastructure. More than a dozen activists gathered in Largo yesterday to denounce Chevron's role in supplying the energy fueling Israeli state operations.
Chevron, you get high. You are fueling genocide. Chevron, hey.
The death toll in Gaza is staggering. Estimates from the Gaza Health Ministry count at least 61,000 Palestinians have been killed since Hamas's attack in October 2023, which killed nearly 1,200 Israeli people. But beyond those killed in the bombings and shootings, Israel's siege on the territory has prevented Palestinians from receiving food, water, and electricity in the occupied territory. Carla Correa is with the Pinellas Democratic Socialists of America and said their boycott seeks to impact Israeli operations at their source, their energy.
Israel's energy production relies on the supply of fossil gas. About 71% of the electricity produced in 2023 used fossil gas, and 2/3 of it was supplied by Chevron's Tamar gas fields. Tamar holds the main supply contract to the state-owned Israeli Electric Corporation through 2030. And we want to make it clear that Chevron is a direct partner in the genocide and in the apartheid that Palestinians face.
Boycotts require significant widespread participation to have an impact, but Correa says other fossil fuel boycotts have been effective in the past.
In the 1970s and 80s, a grassroots campaign to boycott Shell aimed at pressuring the company to withdraw from apartheid South Africa took off globally. The boycott had an enormous impact on Shell's revenues and contributed to a groundswell of backlash against companies continuing to do business with South Africa's apartheid regime. So people are against the genocide. People want to be able to do something material to stop the genocide, to end the genocide, and this is something that we can do.
The boycott calls for Chevron to, quote, divest from all Israeli energy projects and for a just transition to a renewable energy system that serves people, not war profiteers, unquote. A judge sided with major publishers, authors, parents, and students on a lawsuit against a 2023 Florida law meant to ban pornographic materials in schools. WMNF's Chris Young reports publishers call it a sweeping victory for the right to read, but warn there's still more to be done at the local level.
On Wednesday, Judge Carlos Mendoza sided with the plaintiffs on 5 out of 7 counts, saying the state's prohibition of material that describes sexual conduct is overbroad and unconstitutional. VP and General Counsel for Penguin Random House, Dan Novak, says it's a win for students and school librarians.
They were being coerced and threatened by the state government into removing those books. They no longer have that tool in their arsenal at the state government level.
Despite this victory in the U.S. District Court's Middle District of Florida, Novak says the fight is not over.
This has been an occasion for celebration yesterday, but there's a lot of work ahead, and so we have to keep the momentum going.
Penguin Random House is a plaintiff in a separate case in Escambia County, fighting book bans at the local level. The state plans to appeal the ruling. Chris Young, WMNF News.
Attorney General Pam Bondi has named the head of the Drug Enforcement Administration as Washington's emergency police commissioner, saying she is granting him the powers of the police chief amid President Donald Trump's takeover. Bondi said in a directive issued yesterday evening that DEA boss Terry Cole will assume powers and duties vested in the District of Columbia's chief of police. But the Capitol Attorney General responded that Bondi's order was unlawful and said local officers must continue to follow Police Chief Pamela Smith's orders. Mayor Muriel Bowser says there is no statute that conveys the district's personnel authority to a federal official. Cloudy today with some storms this afternoon and highs in the lower 90s. A few clouds tonight with overnight lows in the upper 70s. Mostly cloudy with some storms tomorrow and highs in the lower 90s. I'm Josh Holton with the WMNF News Headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.